today's video, I'm going to talk about teams that are one trade away from making themselves true title contenders. We are about 20 games into the NBA season, and even this early on in the season, we can see who the true title contenders are. Boston and Milwaukee out east, Denver and Minnesota out west. Yes, I said Minnesota! But there are a group of teams that are sitting right under that S tier that looks like they may only be about one piece away, one move away from becoming a true championship contender. So today I'm going to talk about those teams, and the first team I am going to talk about is the Golden State Warriors. Now, in the first 20 games of the season, two things have become clear about Golden State. Number one, Steph Curry still has it. Curry is still playing at an elite level, scoring with great efficiency, playing some of his best basketball, and really does look like one of the top 5, even top 3 players in the league. And he's looking like he is still fully capable of leading a team to a championship. However, the unfortunate thing for him and Golden State, observation number 2 we've seen with Golden State this year, the rest of the Golden State Warriors, they look cooked. Now, Golden State is only 2 years removed from winning the NBA championship. They still have that core of players on the team, minus Jordan Poole. However, it is looking like Father Time is catching up with both Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Klay Thompson is having one of the worst shooting years of his career and averaging one of the worst points per game average since his rookie season. Draymond, who used to be a ferocious and intense defender on the court, just is not looking like that anymore. He's having a hard time keeping up with some of the younger, more athletic players. It looks like he's getting fatigued a lot faster than he used to. And Andrew Wiggins is having one of the worst years of his career, both scoring and shooting. So while Steph Curry is looking like he's still fully capable of leading a team to a championship, it just looks like he doesn't have the support he's going to need to get that done. So it becomes a question, where does Golden State go from here? Well, it becomes obvious they're still looking to win another championship in this dynasty. They're going to need to make some changes. And if I'm sitting in Golden State's front office, I'm picking up my phone and I am making a phone call to the Toronto Raptors. Whoever they want on our roster that's not named Steph Curry is available, and we want Pascal Siakam. Now, I don't think Golden State will ever trade Klay Thompson or Draymond Green, but if they offered a package of maybe Moody and Kuminga and maybe throw in the draft pick or two, that might be something Toronto would be interested in and would be willing to take for Siakam. And Siakam with Golden State, I think, would be a perfect fit. He's someone that could come in and plug right in and become your new number 2 option besides Curry. I think he fits in their offense and their style of play. Take a little bit of the scoring load off of Klay, off of Wiggins, and I think he is the player that Golden State needs if they want to contend with the top teams in the West. The next team I'm going to talk about that I think is a trade away from becoming a true contender is the New York Knicks. Now, New York Knicks are kind of a weird one because they do have a really good roster right now. Since Jalen Brunson has arrived in New York, he has shown he really is one of the best point guards in the league. Julius Randle has been an all-star for New York in the past. RJ Barrett, Quickly, Hart, Robinson, all these guys are good pieces and they play well together for the most part. This roster as is, New York is a good team, but they are not an elite team. This roster is not going to beat Milwaukee or Boston or even Philly. Really, what I think New York is missing is that superstar elite player that's going to take them over the top. But of course, the question for New York, who is available out there that can come in for New York and be that type of player? I don't think there's going to be anybody available at this year's trade deadline that is that player. If you remember in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of talk of maybe Karl Anthony Towns being available for trade, even Zion Williamson not being too happy out in New Orleans. And like those type of players are now doing well and fitting in their situations with their organizations. I don't know if that player's out there for New York this season to trade for. Now, if New York does want to try and make a move this year, maybe they can look out in Portland and try and see if they can throw some draft picks and try and get Jeremy Grant. Maybe even talk to Utah for Lauri Markkanen. But at the same time, even trading, say, Julius Randle for Lauri Markkanen, is that really a trade that's going to put you at the level of Milwaukee and Boston? I don't think it is. So for New York, I don't think they make any big trades this year. I think they stick with the roster they have, play it out, maybe use their plethora of draft picks to trade for a big star.
A what? A plethora.
But even though the New York Knicks, I believe, are one trade away from being a true contender, I don't think that trade or that move comes this season. I'm moving on. The next team I'm going to talk about is out west, and that is the Sacramento Kings. Now, Sacramento was a bit of a surprise success last year, and some predicted that they'd fall off a bit going into this season. But through these first 20 games of the season, it does look like Sacramento is still going to be a threat out west. Now, Sacramento, of course, has their superstars in De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. Malik Monk is there and is a solid player for them. For Sacramento to really compete with the top of the West, I think they are going to restructure their roster a bit and have to add another piece that's going to give them firepower against Denver and Minnesota and the Suns. So if I'm Sacramento, I'm making the phone call out to Chicago and looking for DeMar DeRozan. I personally think DeMar fits in better with the Kings than, say, LaVine does. Gives you that mid-range game that I think will complement both Fox and Sabonis' play style. Probably have to send off a package of maybe Harrison Barnes and maybe Herter in there or Murray. I think the Kings having another 20-point scorer in DeRozan alongside Fox and Sabonis puts them at that level where they can compete with the Suns and Denver and the top of the West in the firepower they're going to need. And the last team I'm going to talk about, you got to talk about them because LeBron loves his trades, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about the whole Zach LaVine to the Lakers happening. I'm really dependent on what the Lakers would have to give up. That could be a good option for them. If I'm the Lakers, I'm trying as hard as I can to not have to trade Rudy Hachimura. But for me, when I think about the LA Lakers, you have Anthony Davis, and he is playing at a high level of basketball right now. LeBron James is still playing like a top 10 player in the league. So I really don't know if you need a player like Zach LaVine to come into that. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm actually not looking to trade for Zach LaVine. I'm looking to trade for his teammate, the ex-LA Laker, Alex Caruso. I think Alex Caruso really is a better version of Austin Reeves, an energy guy that can guard, rebound, shoots well, scores when needed. I mean, he proved his value on the 2020 championship team. He has been that player in Chicago, albeit it's been a losing team out there. For the Lakers, it's all about health. Can Anthony Davis and LeBron James be healthy come playoff time? Because if they can, you really don't need someone like Zach LaVine, but a player like Alex Caruso and Rudy Hachimura and Vanderbilt, these are the guys that you need alongside AD and LeBron to make that championship push. Those are the teams I think are a trade away from becoming true contenders in the NBA. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Are there any other teams that I left off that you think should be involved in the trade market this season? Comment and let me know. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
Oh, yes. You have a plethora.